As Syrian and Russian forces attempted to retake land lost to rebels on Thursday, Turkish forces supporting the rebels came under fire. Their bloodiest day in the conflict so far.
As a result of the airstrikes, 33 soldiers have been martyred.
Helicopters and ambulances were seen streaming across the border earlier in the day to evacuate the wounded. Returning to Hatay as crowds gathered outside the hospital, Turkey says it's responding by attacking every known Syrian government target.
Turkish armed forces using with the missiles and also at the same time the artillery forces from the border are strongly hitting the air defense systems and many ammunition depots of the regime forces. The situation which the opposition was being back the Turkish armed forces will change everything, because from now on we will see not only the opposition on the ground but also the maneuver and the firepower of the Turkish armed forces, including the air force.
İdlib'de de gelişmeler.
The developments in Idlib have turned back in our favor.
Hours earlier, President Recep Tayyip Erdogan had hailed the battlefield successes. Turkey has thousands of troops in Idlib supporting rebel forces at war with Syrian troops backed by Russia. Turkish airstrikes have been pounding Syrian government positions for days. A de-escalation zone agreement between Turkey and Russia, signed in 2018, was intended to prevent such fighting and protect 4 million civilians living there. Far from de-escalation, there is an unfolding calamity for civilians in Idlib as Turkey and its rebels battle Syria and Russia.
The situation is worsening by the day. The escalation of fighting in the northwest since December has pushed over 900,000 people, including over 500,000 children, away from their homes and into danger.
Whatever happens with SARAQIB, it won't end there or anytime soon. Turkey says it will deepen its involvement in Syria against the government it's now labeled the enemy. Andrew Chappelle, Al Jazeera.
All right, we can get the very latest now by talking to our correspondent, Sinem Koziolu. She is in Istanbul. And Sinem, it seems very much as though the activities of the last 24 hours in Idlib province are bringing the two sides ever closer to direct confrontation, to war.
Exactly, Martin. Actually, a couple of days ago, Turkey's President Erdogan, while speaking, he said we are at war, but no one guessed that it would be something like that. Since this latest escalation started in December 2019, in the front lines inside Idlib, it's always like this. They almost come face to face. But yesterday was something different, because this is the first time that so many soldiers are hit at once and killed at once. That's why the officials have reacted harshly yesterday, and we heard from the presidential representatives that Turkey is retaliating, and they have retaliated. But of course, this is a critical process, because Turkey has many troops inside Idlib. First, the troops went there based on the Sochi agreement and Astana agreement that Idlib would be a de-escalation zone, and Turks and Russians would establish military observation posts to observe the possible violations of the de-escalation. But after the latest tension, Turkey deployed more reinforcement, more troops, but I have to tell that the airspace is closed by the Russians and the Syrian regime. So whatever success the Turkish forces and the rebels gain on the ground, there is always this possibility, like it happened yesterday.
Right.
They can hit, either the regime and Russians can hit from air, and there is no way out for them.
OK, Sinem, I just want to ask you, and if you could answer as briefly as possible, please, what is the nature of the operation, of the Turkish operation now against what it's calling all known Syrian targets? Do we have any detail as to how this operation is unfolding?
Well, so far, as I said, it was just an observation mission for the Turks. But beginning from the end of January, it has turned out like a combat mission, because there are also combat soldiers on the ground, and the rebels are on the ground. And after yesterday's incident, I've been hearing that the command level was given orders to hit any foreign item or element in the airspace, then Turks are ready to hit Syria from land and air, from the bases inside Turkey, which are mainly is in the southeastern city Diyarbakir base and from Incirlik base. Today we will be learning more about the military mission, how they're going to conduct, how they're going to respond. But it turns out Turkey will retaliate at any means from now on, because the military is also very angry and the motivation of the soldiers over there is very down, Martin.
All right, thank you. Sinem Kozioğlu, live in Istanbul.